Hello, good morning. Here in this session, we will look into how we can deploy SUMA4 in a testing environment. So SUMA, I mean, it's a acronym, shorthand name of SUSE Manager, right? So SUSE Manager is basically infrastructure management tool. It means that you can manage your infrastructure, like you can provision your machine, right? You can manage your patch also. Yes, we have a virtual machine management tool available now. You can set up some kind of environment like QA environment, development environment, which is a part of CLM, which is content lifecycle management. So yes, you can test your patch, right, in your testing environment. So there are a lot of things in this SUSE manager. We have an audit option there, so you can do audit kind of things, right? So my main goal of this session is to discuss how we can set up SUMA4, right? So let's see how we can set up this. So before moving down into the deployment part, let's see something about what we call hardware requirement. So here, yes, not yeah, right here. So for setting up SUMA 4, we have to have OS with this 64 architecture, right? So minimum CPU of 4. For testing environment, we need 8 GB of RAM, right? For a base installation, minimum requirement is 16 GB. But for production server, we need to have a 32 GB of RAM, right? So for disk 64 sorry 24 GB for root. We need to have one file system for the database. So at minimum it's a 50 GB, yes. Then where spacewalk require 50 GB each for 50 GB space for each product, SUSE product, right? So let's say I'm using a 4 different product, so yes, multiply by 4 to become 200 GB. And if you're using a Red Hat product, so you can see 360 GB for each Red Hat product. So accordingly, you have to calculate the space that you need to set up for this file system, right? So, and yes, the wire space works will always have a larger space because the content is going to be, the channels are going to be mirror under in this location. So one thing more, these file system, I mean, it is good to keep these file systems separate. I mean, like SDB for this PGSQL, PostgreSQL, and SDC maybe for this one, right? So yeah, and for space, swap space needed a 3 GB. So we have a different, little bit different requirement for IBM Power 8 and 9 machines, Power 9 architecture. So CPU at least 4 dedicated cores. For RAM, it is testing server for, yes, it is 8 GB still. But for production server, it's 32 GB at least. The disk space is 100 GB for root. For database, it's 50, and the wire spacewalk is for 50 GB each, 50 GB space for each product accordingly. I mean, either SUSE or Red Hat, you have to calculate accordingly. And swap is 3 GB. Proxy, yes, if you are going to or trying to set up a proxy server, then CPU at least minimum 2 dedicated 64-bit. RAM is 2 GB testing, and for production it is 8 GB. And disk space for root 24, SRV is 100, and bare cache is 100 GB. So proxy, as a name suggests, it's more like a kind of intermediate server between SUMA and the client. So let's say you have one office in Delhi and the second office is in Bangalore. So here you have a choice. Either you can set up a 2 SUMA in 2 different locations. Maybe it is not a good choice because you have to go through all the subscription process and all. So I think you can set up a one proxy server there on the other side. Other side means Bangalore, let's say, for example. So proxy basically running is good inside, right? So the first time when the client requests anything, yes, of course, the proxy will work as the intermediate server, will forward your request to the to the designated server. The designated server can be your SCC, or it can be your SUMA as well, right? But the next time if I have a same query again, then the proxy, I mean the proxy will respond from there. So it basically using a cache in the machine, in the file system, which keep or mirror all the the request, the data basically. So if you have a same request next time, then proxy is not going to forward your request to the next server, but it will respond from the same. So that's the role of the proxy here, right? So yeah. So mhm. So let's move on the installation part. So there are a couple of tools which we will discuss throughout the journey. We have like SMT, RMT, proxy, build server, SUMA, etc., etc. So I believe now we are a bit clear about what exactly SUMA is. SUMA is nothing but a tool. It's a management tool, infrastructure management tool to manage your infrastructure by installing the operating system, reinstalling the operating system, collecting the hardware inventory, uh, auditing your machine, patch management, virtual machine management. Right. There are a couple of things, and yes, you can also. The most important thing with SAP is you can set up your SAP HANA cluster, because now in SUMA 4 we have salt formulas available which will help you to set up your what set up your SAP HANA servers, SAP HANA clusters, right? So that become now very much easy to go for or installing SAP HANA cluster, because we now have a ready-made formulas available. So we as a system administrator, we can set up SAP HANA cluster without actually knowing how things work. I mean, we have a ready-made formulas available, so the life of the system administrator is little bit easy. But yes, to get a more or good understanding, it is always good to go in detail, right? Check it how something work, how things are connected, etc., etc. So okay, so let's move down here, and I can see I have a one machine as a admin one, and the second one is a service machine. So here you can see we have a couple of machine for a couple of different practical. uh, but for now I need a one admin machine. So admin machine is basically a machine where we have a SUSE install with GNOME. So yes, we have a GUI install. So if in case I want to access anything, any machine through graphical way, I will use this one. So this is only the purpose of installing this admin machine, because we have a GUI here. So we will use this GNOME in order to access any server. That's only the purpose of it. Service machine means it's providing a service. Service means like DSCP services here. We have a DNS services here. We have an MPP running here. So uh, so yes, I was saying that the service machine is basically running a service into this host, right? So I made one dedicated machine for all the required service. We have NTP running, DNS, DSCP, etc., etc. So let's say if you are going to check this SUMA 4, you don't need to have this admin machine, right? Because uh, it's an additional machine that I have install it in order to do some kind of uh, R&D kind of things, right? So this is not something which is very much required to use a SUMA 4, right? Second is service machine. If you're testing, then you can use the global NTP server, right? The public NTP. For IP address, you can go with an AT feature of this VMware or VirtualBox or KVM. So we don't actually need this, right? But I'm using these machines as a standard in order to follow this setup, right? So you originally or actually need one machine only, right? Where you wanted to install what SUMA 4, right? So before going to deploy SUMA 4, yes, you have to fulfill the prerequisite first. the hardware requirement it should be satisfy. And then you have to have a OS SP1, because SUMA 4 is very much compatible, or you can say only compatible with SP1. So SUSE Linux Enterprise SP1. So you can download this from here, right? And you also need one more product, which is SUMA Manager 4.0, and you can also download this from this location, right? And yes, these product are very much, I mean, these products are like available for 60 days as a trial version, so you can simply download it. So the time when you're downloading it, it will ask you for your some basic details like your email ID or something, right? So you can see it. So let's put it here, click it, and then see. It require you to register or create an account in Suma or in SUSE.com, right? So you just fill some formal details, then only you can download it, right? And 60 days trial version will also give you a one evaluation key. So you need an evaluation key actually, which is valid for 60 days. So here you can see what product you are using. I mean, you want to use sector, so you have to fulfill it. Once you click on submit query, then the next page come asking you for setting up your account here, right? So the ultimately, or the final object is to, you have to have evaluation copy of these two product in order to set up this SUMA 4. And yes, we provide a 60 days as a trial version. Means SUMA provide basically 60 days as a trial version for these two products. So yeah, we can go ahead and set up this SUSE Manager version 4, right? Here in our environment, we have a running service machine, right? In a service machine, we also running SMT, which is subscription management tool. I mean, SMT stand for subscription management tool. So this is a tool which comes with silly subscription, right? So let's say you already have one you know uh, silly subscription. SUSE Linux Enterprise subscription is already there. So SMT is a bit, I mean, it's free along with your base OS subscription, right? So how this SMT is going to help you? SMT is basically the purpose of SMT is to mirror the repository. Meaning is, let's say I need a package to set up SUMA 4. Right. So there are two ways. The first way is you need to create your account in SCC, then only you can download it. And the second way is you can set up a SMT server. So SMT server is more like intermediate server between the SCC and the SUMA. Right. So you can also think it like intermediate server working between SCC and you, which will mirror all the required package down here, and then you can copy it, right? So if you come through here, not here, not here, not here. So if I tell you, so yeah, this is the one, subscription management tool. So this is a tool which is by default there with your Cilius subscription, and yes, you can simply download it for 60 days if you don't have a base subscription, right? And the benefit is you can see here. So in one line statement, if I have to say what is SMT, so this is used to mirror all the channels down into your machine. So whatever subscription that you have purchased from, right, it will keep those channel downloaded so that you can use internally. So it's more like a server holding the packages that you have purchased, not the subscription that you have purchased, right? Okay. So that's why we have set up this here, because we don't have internet running inside this environment, right? Yes, we have here in the base machine, but not inside this setup environment. And it is always not good to download the same package multiple times. So it is in that case you can go with this SMT. Just set up once and download as number of time as you need. So anyways, so let's log in here with this. Okay, we'll check the password later on because we don't actually direct need of this machine. So let's go to the SUMA one. Clicked it, check down here, see the DVD. So it's not yet connected. Clicked it. So under in home folder we have a SLE15 SP1. So we need to have this. Yeah, open. Yes. Okay. So what actually I'm doing here, I'm installing the SUMA4. The OS I'm installing it actually, not SUMA4, right? So first we need to have a OS, then on top of that we set up a product. So click. So just give me a second. Why not I set up the IP address on the same place beside in the middle of the installation. So I just clicked it here, select the installation, and in the boot option we can write like ifcfg equal eth0 equal 172.17.20.18/24, then 172.17.20.35, comma 172.17.20.35. So 18, 172, 70, 20, 172, 17, 20, and 35, comma example.com, and host name is suma-srv dot example.com, right? And then I can click enter. Mm, okay, then we can now click on, okay, enter. F3, F2, help, source, F5, driver, enter. Yeah. Then in the next work you will see all the options, because now we are using a SLE15 SP1. So SLE15 is bit different from SLE12. Here in SLE15 you can see, you will see all the product options. So you can simply select what product that you want to use, right? And it is a unified installer. So the ISO which we are using in SLE15 is quite small. It is almost 700 MB or something, which is that's why we call it a unified installer. So a single installation ISO will help you out to set up one of the product that you can see, So we need here you can see we have a SUMA4 option, right? And the first option is SP1, second is SUSE Enterprise High Performance Computing, third is real-time SP1, fourth is SAP application, fifth is a desktop one. So here we have to select this one, SUSE Manager version 4, and then click on next. So yes, accept the agreement. So here you can see, I mean, before that, let's click on network configuration and let's click on some IP address is okay. Okay, 172.17.2018. Host name is okay, domain name is fixexample.com. Correct. The IP address of my name server is 35. Great. And the host name is SUMA4. Yes. Under the routing, I have this 35. Great. So it's look good. Click next, because we fixed this that thing at the beginning of the installation, so there is nothing to change. Now here we have option, we are going to set up a SUMA4. So if you have an online subscription, definitely if you have a subscription purchased, then you need to write your email ID, let's say for example whatever email ID you have, right, and their registration code. So for SUMA4, you may have a registration code that you have to fit it here. The second option is SMT or RMT one, meaning is if you have set up SMT server already, then you can simply write the address of this and we can go. So yes, we have one service machine where I have installed SMT also. So click it here and then write the address of the SMT server. So the SMT server has https colon slash slash ex hyphen services dot example dot com. So let's cross check it also. Go to the service machine. Okay, I don't remember the password. Let me. Okay. Uh, switch user, new session. So let's ns look up this ex hyphen services dot example dot com. So yeah, it is working. I mean, the name is already there. So I will check this password and will come up later. And I don't need this password right now. So let's move and then. So fix this correct SMT1, the address. It says that yes, this is just the error regarding your certificate, which you can ignore right now. Trust. It is going to connect to your server SMT machine, SMT server. The difference between SMT and SUMA is SUMA gives you a lot of things: provisioning, installation, package management, patch management, virtual machine management, CLM, and all. Where is your SMT only going to mirror the channels that you have purchased, nothing else. It is more like a service giving you a package kind of thing. That's it, nothing else. So, so would you like to go with any update? Even we don't have any, internet and all. So, anyways, let's click here. Yes. So, yes, baseline package is there. Desktop module application. If you want to have a desktop, then you can click it here. Uh, Python 2, SUMA4, SUMA application, and web. All these checked are properly clicked. So I think I should move next. So it is going to connect with your SMT and then verifying uh, the requirement. Registering SUMA4 module 4.0, uh, registering desktop application module 15 SP1. So if you have all this package available, then there is no issue. The process will move forward. So SUMA4 server, yes, this is the new things that have been added in SLE 15 SP1. So if you go to, I mean, the older version 12, you don't get this option, right? So the first is SUMA4, second is SUMA Manager for Retail, and third is for Minimal. So these are the roles newly added in this box. And yes, the partition scheme, as I said in the beginning, that you have to be very much, conscious about the partition scheme. So let's click on start from the current. So here I can see we have SDA. Yeah, this is the one, SDB, SDC, and STD. So let's remove this one. Yes, these are the partition. So if you want to remove, just simply click it, and we have it. Okay, delete this one as well. So how much space do we have? 120 GB. Okay, so clicked on add partition. So how many partition we need from the OS disk? So one is root partition and the second is swap mainly. So let's go with this. Clicked it here and put it 100 GB. And next, that is for operating system. Yes, it is swap. Go with one more partition. Uh, 3 GB at least as per the documentation for swap. Yes, this is the one. Look good. Yeah. So we have a correct thing here. Now the next is SDB. So SDB will like to use for how much space do we have? 200 GB, right? So we like to use this space for where space work, because STC has 50 GB. Great. So let's go with SDB and then click on partition, then add partition, give the whole space, right? Okay. Then for data partition, yes. And then okay, the format is XFS, there is no issue. Mount point, yes, so I have to have a new mount point. um just give me a second, someone is on the gate. Let me pause it. Yes, I'm back. So yeah, I was saying XFS file system is good. Okay, mount point is this. So we need a mount point for var and space walk. Okay, that is okay. Then next is for SDC partition, add partition. The size is 50. Good. Go with data partition. Yes. XFS fine. And that is var lib and pgsql. So here we'll fix this for var slash lib slash pgsql. Next, accept. Yes. Okay. Next. So that is for we also have one more disk, so why not we use this for okay, let's go next. SDD also. So we can use this SDD for pub folder. So srv www htdoc and then pub. So click on here. Yeah. So let's click it. Click on partition, then add partition. So you might be thinking, what is the use of this, the next one, right? So it will keep the package which is related to the OS, right? This var triple w HTML and pub folder. Where is your var spacewalk will keep the sync or the mirror of all the channels or the product channel basically that you have using it. So next, data, and then the space is where if I'm not wrong, so it is SRV actually, SRV triple W, then HT docs, DOHT, DOCS, HT docs, and then pub. Right, so okay. So next, yes, next. So here we have to select a zone. So let's go with this is the by default one. So if I clicked it here, then so yes, I have checked the zone of the other machine and selected the same. So mountain, that one I have selected here. Click it next. The username. So let's say for username in my case, corporation user, right? And the password is, this is the password. I use this password for system administrator. Yes. Click next. It's saying that password is too short. Would you like to go? Yes. So okay. SUMA4 module packages. Okay. SSH service will be enabled. If you want disable, no. It will be blocked. So need to open this. Okay. So click it open. So service is open. CPU. Okay. GDUM. Okay. Okay. So all look good. Let's click on install option, and then so it will take almost, I think, around 6 to 10 minutes to complete this process. So once this thing is done, we'll back on and show you how we can set up SUMA4. So currently we are installing operating system with the require product by putting the correct subscription key, making the file system require for this environment, etc. We have a user here now, swap is enabled, etc. So let's make it pause. We'll back after once this process. So our OS is installed now. This one, this machine, right? And I'm able to log in with this password. So let's check this up. Yes, it's look good. It is a time to configure this. Yes. Okay. So now we have all the package which is let me become a root because Mhm. So where is the problem? So I'm logged in, then I can change my password. Yes, my name of host is this Suma SRV. Oh shit. Now need to go into Suma has SRV. Let's check this up first through NS lookup Suma-SRV. Yeah, such space Suma-SRV hyphen yes. Yeah. So it is a time to configure SUMA4, and yes, we have selected the require pattern at the time of installation. So yes, to space SUSE manager setup. So this is the command that you need to run. Enter. So set up SUSE manager from the scratch. So yes, we have to select the first option. But if you are using the older version of SUMA and wanted to migrate from older to new one, then go for the second option. So click next. So SUMA manager administrator email address. I'm okay with that. Yes. So here we have organization details. So you need to write the correct or the name of organization. So in my case, I'm going with EX underscore corporation. Organization is EX underscore ORG. City is Provo, let's say for example. Okay. Country is US. And then you have E. Yeah. So yes, we need to fill this detail and then go next. Alt N. So it's saying that SUSE manager administrator email address, that is okay. Next. Oh, why it's repeating? Maybe I missed something. Anyways, so let's click um, EX version, then EX underscore ORG, city is Provo, UT, country is US, EX admin. You have to remember this password. Why, I will tell you later. Alt N. Yeah, now correct. So saying that database user is SUSE manager, that is okay. You have to set the password also. So I'm using ex admin hyphen db. Ex admin hyphen db. So Alt N. So you can either start the setup process directly or exit the user interface and make custom modification to the answer file. So which means that the file will be created down in my base machine, and I can read this out later. I can change sometime. If I put yes, then this particular script is going to run. So yes, we wanted to set up this now. So Alt and Y. So it is going to work with, okay. So I think we need to wait until this finish. So it will take, I think, around 3 to 4 minutes, then we'll back. So yes, the process is done, and now I can click. I need to click on next. So SUSA manager is completed now, and here we have a URL to create a SUMA administrator account. For more detail, you have to go there. Then okay, so finish it. So we have completed this. So now can go for Firefox space SUMA-SRV. So SUMA-SRV.example.com, enter. It's SUMA, not SUME. Hmm. Advance, minimize at. Mhm. Okay, so now this is the first time page which comes when you finish this process. So for organization, you can like corporation desired login name is SUMA SUMA admin, and the password is, let's say, for EX admin, and SUMA admin at example.com, and then the full name is maybe uh, yeah, SUMA, and last name is Geek. So yes, we need to finish this detail and then click on create organization. So once you click on this, you have logged in successfully here. You have set up this SUMA4 yeah. So okay, so this is a name of organization. You are logged in with the SUMA admin. You have a system selected. So if I clicked it here under in admin, I can see how many product that we have. We are using it for testing. So there is clicked it sync. So I will discuss this in other video. So this is a place where you can see how many subscription that you have purchased from SUSE, right? So yeah, and this is the organization credential. So this is like if you have SCC running, right, the online SCC that you wanted to connect with, so click here and then write the SCC user credential, right? So when you want to connect your SUMA directly with SCC, this option is required, the organization credential. We have a STT proxy, so we are not having any STT proxy, but yes, if you have. So let's check from the top. So we have a home option here. So under in home, you can see this manage system type, register system, activation key, manage auto installation, etc. We can see the number of system that we have. So there is no system under here now, right? So under here, you can see we have system lead group, system group. We have SSM, bootstrapping options. We have virtualization. You have activation key. SUMA basically uses a SALT as a configuration and infrastructure management tool. So SALT is here. So there is no machine join. So yeah, we can't see anything, any key here. We haven't generated any key. So images. So there is no image yet. But yes, if you want to build your custom image for retail client, then these options are required. For patches, so currently we haven't synced any channel from SMT, so there is no package available. Under any software, we can see the SUSE product. So there is no software channel here under in this option as at present. CLM, which is a new option added in SUMA4 Content Lifecycle Management, where you can define the flow of your batch, right? Audit option, yes. We have a configuration option, we have a schedule option, user creation, we have admin option in the last, right? So yeah, this is a one of the basic information about how you can set up a SUMA4, right? I hope this video would be helpful, and we will create another video where we learn how we can sync the data from SMT and how we can join the machine, etc., etc. So yeah, okay, thank you, thank you.